The break is presented by Browning Trail Cameras. You've got to see this. Closed captioning is brought to you by iScope. This week on The Break.
It's a family affair this week on The Break as Zac Hoenes takes his daughter Alyssa out during youth season to punch another tag. Zac takes his cousin Daniel out after his first deer. Zac gets a little trigger time himself, and another family member gets a chance at an absolute giant.
That's the biggest deer we've ever seen on this farm. I'm not kidding you. That deer is unbelievable.
Well, here we are, back at it. It is August of 2017. I'm standing right here in front of one of my favorite spots on the whole farm, and I'm in one of our main food plots that we call the killing corner. This food plot is planted in beans. At least the center of it is planted in beans. We always like to have that as a standing winter food source. But then the inside edge, closest to the timber and the bedding, we like to go ahead and mow that down, about this time of year, spray it with Roundup, burn it off, and, plant things like radishes and turnips and maybe some oat and wheats. We've actually tilled the ground. Now we're going to roll it. Once we roll it, we'll have a nice firm seed bed. And there's 2 different times this evening where we're expecting an 80% chance of rain. So the soil's pretty dry right now, but ahead of a rain, those small seeds, the radishes and turnips, ought to be able to go right down into the dirt and get us started. And that'll give us a good solid 2 or 3 weeks worth of growth before bow season starts September 15th. So thanks for joining us on The Break.
All right, well, we're all settled in. I was going to go home today, but actually my plans changed because I went into this other farm that my dad and I have permission to hunt and pulled this trail camera card that's been out since the beginning of September, and it's on a known scrape site. Well, the scrape is heated back up. It's been 2 or 3 pretty good bucks, and there's been a lot of daylight activity of all kinds of deer, and they're walking these waterways in between all these fields of standing corn. So while the crops are still in, I think we better give this a whirl. This farm is completely different as soon as they harvest the crops because it's 90% ag, almost no cover. But for right now, the deer are here.
Yep. Yep.
Heck yeah. More meat in the freezer. Thank you, Browning Trail Cams. You told me that these deer were coming out all the time, right through here. Couldn't be happier with that. That worked out perfect.
For as long as I can remember, the Browning name has meant something to people in the outdoors. So when I went looking for a trail camera that I could depend on, there was only one name that came to mind: Browning Trail Cameras. So if you're looking for a trail camera that's easy to use, is unbelievably reliable, and takes amazing pictures and videos, there's only one brand that I trust: Browning Trail Cameras.
Browning Speed combines advanced fabrics, tailored fit, and innovative camouflage. Hunt harder, faster, and stronger than ever. Speed, killer clothing.
This segment of the break is brought to you by HHA Sports.
Second day of Missouri's youth season, and we had been hunting at a managed hunt that we drew with the Department of Conservation. Really appreciate that opportunity. Heard some deer got shot yesterday, but we never saw any, and running out of time here, so we actually came up to our main farm, and we're going to hunt today up here and see if Alyssa can kill one of these bucks that's running around up here, or maybe even a nice doe. So what do you think? You ready? Well, it's kind of cold this morning though, isn't it? We're bundled up. It's in the 20s, which is great. Should get the deer on their feet, but can't move your arm. All right, well, we'll find a way. So we'll see how it goes. Thank you for joining us on the break. Stay tuned. Do you see her? Nice. Yep, dead right there. All right, kiddo. Hey, man, congratulations.
This is my lucky place, not anywhere else. This is my place to shoot my deer.
Hey, Alyssa. High five, kiddo. All right. Well, Alyssa, I couldn't be more proud of you, honey. You did an awesome job once again. Really just, I can't get over this. This kid is 12, and this is 7 of these whitetails she's taken. It's as good as it gets. That's the best that anybody could ever hope for, and thank you so much for joining us on the break.
Zac has introduced a lot of people to hunting and is very unselfish about it. Here, Zac gave up the opening morning of gun season to help his cousin Daniel try and get his first deer.
that's our fourth buck of the morning, and a doe. This is crazy. Like, it's on this morning. So he's kind of coming this way. So hang on a minute. Let me look at him and make sure he's legal. Hey, there's two does out there too. He's coming to check them. He's definitely legal. Where is he? Oh, I see him. Okay, turn your scope up to like 6 or something. Alright, can you see his vitals real good? I think he's walking this way, so just let him keep coming. Turn your scope back down to like 4 or 5 or less. Just whatever. He's gonna walk right in here, bud. He's gonna give you a good easy shot here. There's a bunch of beans. Alright, I'm gonna bleed at him. He's going back to the left. He's coming right at us here, so.
Our veterans and those currently serving have selflessly volunteered for duty and risked their lives for the benefit of all Americans. With this in mind, the KNIESTEDT Foundation was established to show gratitude for these individuals by providing the opportunity to participate in unbelievable outdoor experiences. Each event we organize is strongly rooted in our 4 guiding principles: respect, integrity, connecting individuals, and empowerment. Visit KNIESTEDT.org to discover how you can create a brighter America for those who have sacrificed so much.
This segment is brought to you by Bison Coolers.
He's coming right at us here, so.
You smacked him, bud. He's dead. He's dead right there, Daniel. Hey, give me 5, buddy. Yeah. All right. He didn't go 20 yards. Was that any fun?
Oh, my heart's racing.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Oh, he just like...
Yeah. Yeah, you hit him hard. That was perfect. Like I said, we had all kinds of time.
Yeah.
There's no reason to freak out. Yeah.
Patience. Oh, man. And then, you know, not used to the scope, so like I get off and it'd be like a blue haze on the scopes.
Yep. Well, yeah, you had that vortex turned way up, and then I kept having you back it down and turn it back up. Like a field of view thing. It's funny. So,
yeah.
So first deer. That's some pretty good stuff right there. So hey, lucky hat right here. See that? That's Gravic Ranch orange hat that Joe Rhodes gave me from the KNIESTEDT Foundation in Gravic Ranch. And that's at least the 5th deer that's been killed by somebody wearing that hat. A couple of them were me, a couple of them were friends, but you know, Daniel's my cousin. Was looking for a place to deer hunt this year. You know, he'd never really been able to go before, a little bit as a kid, but you know, inquired about getting a rifle, so we were able to help, you know, get him a rifle. And he's left-handed, so that made it kind of difficult. But we found him a left-handed 30-06 that was in good condition. And hey, what do you say we go get your deer? Sounds like a good plan. Cool. Here's your deer, buddy. Told you didn't go very far. Nice.
Got my first ever deer on this cold Saturday morning. Saw him coming out, tracked him around for a while. He was munching on some beans. Waited till I got a good shot. He didn't make it far.
The next morning, Zac and Daniel go back to the same stand, just hoping to kill a doe, and this happens.
Wow, look at that buck. My goodness. That's the biggest deer we've ever seen on this farm. And I'm not kidding you. That deer is unbelievable. That was probably the biggest deer I've ever seen hunting. Certainly one of the biggest we've ever seen on this farm and biggest I've ever laid footage down of. I just want that buck to walk by my dad so bad. He's worked so hard at this place and created such a beautiful spot for us to hunt. So many of us killed deer off this farm and would just love to see him get lucky and run into one. So he's up there. He's about 250 yards up the hill. I'm just hoping after this rain quits that's exactly what happens, because my dad's up there waiting. Good luck, Rundle. Get him, bud.
You're probably wondering why Zac didn't shoot that buck. Remember I said it was the next morning? Zac hunted that same stand the previous evening as well. Check it out.
And we are back in the box blind. It's opening afternoon of our season here in Missouri, and we already had a really eventful morning. We saw a bunch of deer, 4 different bucks. My dad saw a bunch of deer. My friend Brian saw a bunch of deer in a different part of the farm, so we had a really good morning. My cousin Daniel was able to kill his first deer ever. He did a great job on that. Made a perfect shot, hit the deer right in the heart, and he went 5 yards. So it's about all you could ever ask for. So we're gonna hunt this farm tonight and then go up and have a fish fry and barbecue with some good buddies like we do every year Saturday night of deer season. So it's 1:30. We're in the blind pretty early, but I see no reason to sit in the cabin when it's the rut and it's opening day of gun season. So here we go. Thanks for joining us on the break.
Banks Outdoors is the place that connects family.
Oh my God. Thank you. Yeah. That was unreal.
This is the place that connects friends.
Bro, you did it. What a phenomenal story.
This is the place that brings excitement.
3, bro.
Most importantly, this is the place where memories are made.
Dad, I will never forget this moment.
Neither will I, buddy. Neither will I.
Why do I shoot in Indian Creek?
He's deader than a hammer. Indian Creek once again.
The break is also brought to you by these fine sponsors.
We are back in the box blind. It's opening afternoon of our season here in Missouri, and we already had a really eventful morning. We saw a bunch of deer, 4 different bucks. Alright, so we just had a small deer on the food plot. Had a bunch of turkeys. Deer kept looking in the woods and then eventually walked away. Even kind of bounded away a little bit, like it got freaked out by something. So I don't know, maybe a big buck is getting ready to make his way onto the field. That'd be nice. There's a buck. There's a buck.
tell you what, that's not the buck I'm looking for, but if we could get a big one to do that, he'd be in deep, deep trouble. There's a buck.
Did you happen to see last season's episode of Zach's Deer Season? If so, this buck may look a little familiar.
Wow, you look good from that angle, honey.
You sure you don't want him?
No.
How many times you passed that buck now?
That makes 3 times. I've been watching him all week.
Oh.
I'm hoping to see him again next year.
Yeah. Well, I offered you to shoot him, but hey, you let him go. Thank you very much. You gotta,
Thank me next year if you get to see him again.
Wow. Wow. I just shot a big 8-point buck here in northern Missouri. The Browning 308. Yeah, baby. Hadn't seen any decent bucks. And then there goes a big buck. Might have some work to do here shortly. Might be a little late for the dinner gathering, but oh well.
So now you know why Zach didn't shoot that big buck from earlier in the show.
All right, that was probably the biggest deer I've ever seen hunting. Certainly one of the biggest we've ever seen on this farm and biggest I've ever laid footage down of.
But this story is far from over. Zach and Daniel watched that buck leave the field and they stayed for a little while to try to fill their doe tags. No luck there, so they got down to go get some breakfast. As they're driving back, Zach gets a text from his dad.
Another text from Rendell. Who was that? Brian. Dad says me, I think I got him. Oh, no way. I think Dad got that buck. Dude, what did you do?
Killed him. Wow.
How cool is that? We filmed that buck this morning.
I said I was wanting to go eat breakfast.
I know you were.
I'm sicker than hell. Got a cold. But he's worth it. Yes, sir. I thought you went somewhere else, buddy.
Dude, what a deer. I'm so happy for you, man. I can't even describe it. We couldn't be more blessed. This is amazing. And we have Browning trail cam pics of this buck who just showed up about a week and a half ago. Have Browning trail cams of this buck who showed up about a week and a half ago. Both of them rutted near our farm last year. And I checked the trail camera after Daniel killed his, and we got pictures of his buck in daylight right there where he shot it. So big thanks to the Browning trail cameras for helping keep us in the woods and put us on these deer. And we couldn't be happier. Thank you so much for joining us on the break.